Got to, man. Gotta bounce back. Shout out to my homie Keys, Xavier Keys, on the vocals on this. Okay. Honestly, they couldn't stop me if they wanted to. Gotta get up, go out and get it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I've been focused, I'm not hungry. Yo, I'm starving, dude. Grind mode with my team, we making these power moves. Honestly, they couldn't stop me if they wanted to. Gotta get up, go out and get it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I've been focused, I'm not hungry. Yo, I'm starving, dude. In grind mode with my team, we making these power moves. Cause I ain't got no time to be wasting with all this music I'm making. Man, I'm tired of being impatient, so I keep making these moves here with my crew. Vow to myself to always stay true, so I don't care what nobody else do. I know why. Like an erection, bumps in the road, but nah, I ain't stressing. I don't work out, but homie, I'm flexing. Every time I get on the beat and I bless it. Rise and shine, and I never let another come and stop my grind. Cause I grind all night at the gig, no lie. Then it's back in the booth for some overtime. Come on. Nope. Shout out to Miss Alma Ramos. Shout out to Miss B. I said, hey. My mom told me to get them, so I don't care what y'all say. I just keep grinding. Yeah, I stay working, cause it's, you know, I said, that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make y'all mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. I can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. No sleep. Spit heat, killing these tracks, and I'm not gonna stop till I'm up on top where I'm supposed to be. Everywhere I go, I scream SP. We more than a crew, we a family. Working trying to get a couple Grammys, G, have them sitting on top of the mantelpiece. Thank God. Go hard, they just mad cause I'm on my job. But where I'm from is to the ground to starve. And starving, I just can't do it. Not having it, unthinkable. So I turn in, stretch arms strong, and now I can reach the unreachable. Let's go. Hey, trying to... Yo, I said I can't sit still. I just laugh at y'all haters. Cause, yeah, hey, mom's told me, so I don't. Let's go, I just keep. Yeah, I stay. Cause it's, you know, I said, that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make you mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. I can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't get what you want. Whatever you dreaming for, you get out there and you get it. You make it happen. Never mind the haters. Real spill. Cause all day, always, get them. Yes sir. I'm grinding. Stay working. Hey, I said that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make you mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. Gotta. Yes, sir. Love them.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. It's 8 o'clock a.m. Yeah, right there, right on the nose. We did it. After the chaos that happened this morning early, you would think, yeah, he's always on time with the news at 8 o'clock. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it was quite the morning. Remember this. Never do later what you can do now. I found it out the hard way. So yesterday a light went out here in our great studio. It was after the Pride Parade. I got here. I was like, oh man, it's number 3 again. I don't have to, you know what? I'm looking at, I should just get the ladder, go up there and change it. I was like, nah, I'm tired. And I went home, which caused me to be here mad early to get the light changed. So never do later what you can do now. But we've got a great show for you guys today. It's Monday the 13th of June. I know y'all was at Pride yesterday. We were too. Got a lot of footage. Some of you were in it. A lot of you were in it, actually. Almost all of you were in it. But we'll show you that later on. But we got great guests today. We have Lyndsay Hartman and Yvette Robles of AID Street Outreach with us. How y'all doing?
Good.
Okay, all right. Are y'all nervous?
You'll never know.
Good morning to everybody. John Schomer is here. Good morning, John. Aisha Saxon, Jennifer Ryan Mate, Nora Smith. Hello, Norma. And Norma Peterson is here as well. So how was the weekend?
It was amazing.
Right.
It was beautiful.
You ladies were both in the parade.
I was, yeah.
You were, right.
Yeah.
You were not in the parade.
I wasn't able to, no.
Okay. Well, the parade was great. And as we mentioned, want to give some shout outs to the 80s roller derby. 88s
Yeah.
roller derby team.
Yep.
They were really good, zipping by, and they had a car too, but they had skates, so they were moving really fast. Everybody was out there. New Way Church, Victoria Highland Maldonado, Alton Penny Morris. Shouts out to you. Maura Hirschauer, state representative, was out there. She was deep with the team. Judge Bianca Camargo, Renee Cruz. I mean, the list goes on and on. Nick Thompson. Nick Thompson was out there with a blue shirt. It was like a baby blue shirt. And he had on some like chocolate colored shorts.
Mm-hmm.
That was the coolest color combination I ever saw. Like, that brother looked good with that. I was like, yo, baby blue with the chocolate. I like that. But he was doing his thing. Martrell Webb, filmmaker, local artist here in Aurora, who's doing his thing too. So shouts out to everybody who came out for a good time yesterday. Yeah. And shouts out to the whole Pride staff and team who really got the job done. Glad to see that the parade actually went off. Dozy Mendoza Geller is here. Good morning to you as well. So AID Street Outreach, separate from the AID organization, right?
We're part of AID. We're just a tiny little part underneath lots of programs. So, but yeah, we're part of the larger AID.
All right. Now, Street Outreach sounds self-explanatory, but let's unpack it a little bit. What exactly do you ladies do?
Yeah. What do we do?
I like how you just threw that catch.
Because I'm the chatty one, so we got to make sure to get her.
We work with the homeless population, so those who are not receiving any services elsewhere, essentially. We are there to help them with any kind of immediate need that they may have, whether it be from like toiletries, things like that, hygiene, to helping them getting reconnected with the community with Link. Medicaid, their IDs, if they need their IDs, social security cards, any paperwork or documentation that they're in need of, that they have lost or anything that has happened, we will help provide that, take them to any appointments, doctor's appointments, get them set up with all that. Just whatever they may need, we're there, try to help out.
Now, is any of that housing related to, are there specifics for that?
Yeah, so housing is tricky. And so, of course, when people think, we work with the homeless population, housing is the number one thing we get asked about, both by the community and by our clients when we meet them. Housing is a long-term goal. So I always say that street outreach is very much, basic needs of what they need in that moment, but also we work on longer-term goals. Right. So right now, housing, especially in our county, is a lot of wait lists. A lot of kind of going through, I always say, what's your loophole, So are you, how old are you? Do you have a disability? Things like that, where we can maybe try to get someone in somewhere. So yes, we do our very best to connect people to housing, but it is not a quick fix.
Right. And people no one realized that it's a kind of a sad state of affairs, right? That the problem is so deep of an issue, and plus there's Hesed House,
Yes.
which does kind of a that type of work. You know, they have the ability to house people. So the needs are more immediate that you guys deal with. And when it comes to establishing people with their Medicaid and their link, are a lot of the homeless population, I mean, what's the degree that they're separated from their resources? I mean, for example, I had to sleep on a buddy's couch like 10 years ago, you know, before I got my new apartment. Not necessarily homeless, but you're moving things along.
Yeah.
So that's different than somebody who perhaps has not seen a doctor or been to a checkup in years.
Yeah.
So what's the degree that you guys deal with?
So we are seeing the most vulnerable because we are dealing with the unsheltered homeless. So that means like folks that either have no access to a shelter at all or don't qualify for a shelter, either because of their criminal background or, you know, their use of substances or whatever it might be. So we really strive to interact with the folks that no one else is interacting with. So that means a lot of times like absolutely no documentation. We have to start with an ID first and foremost. So we really, you know, as much as I don't like saying chronically homeless, but those are our people.
Sure,
who
absolutely.
It's not, you know, I just got evicted. It's really, really removed from what they need to be connected to. So
right. To what degree, again, with the folks that you deal with and have been dealing with, to what degree does substance abuse play a part? Is it in most cases, in a few, in all, some?
So one thing I always say is that if I was homeless, there is no chance I would be sober.
Sure.
So we really try to meet folks where they're at, regardless of their substance use.
Right.
And so it's you know, we don't know the origin stories for a lot of these folks, you know, because it's been years or whatever. And they, you know, it's traumatizing to tell their story. And so wherever they're at that day is who we are interacting with. So I don't know, you know, if substance use led to homelessness, if homelessness led to substance use. There's a lot of connection, but not causal connection necessarily.
And I ask these questions because A, I respect what you ladies do, the organization, and B, because like I know that I just don't think other people realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know very well that to do the work that you do, you have to be in the trenches.
Yeah.
Like you got to be like boots on the ground.
Physically.
Physically in the trenches. And I think that one of the issues or one of the reasons why this and these problems have been so entrenched is because a lot of organizations, the mission statement sounds great. But when the staff realizes that, so the office is in Lombard, but I actually got to be like the west side of Chicago, like in those places, that's where like the rubber meets the road. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people are really aware of that. I think that they've got kind of like a surface idea of what makes people homeless because it's the stigma attached to it too. And I think that society has for a long time not even cared about what the reason was. Like, dude outside, he's got a sign, bad.
Right. And I don't want to look at him. So like, please put him somewhere.
Exactly. Like, how can we just remove these people?
Yeah.
But now there's other places in town that can deal with substance abuse, or do you do any of that? You give resources to them, right?
Right. So our goal is always to connect folks to the services that they need, whether that be, you know, AID behavioral health. Obviously, AID does have behavioral health services or, you know, substance use or whatever. But for us, it's always like, again, following their lead. And so we, what I am obsessed with street outreach is that like we truly get to just like love on folks as they are. Right. And there's no... our services are free. There's no, like, you have to do XYZ to stay in services. Like, it's just like, what do you need?
Right.
Because a lot of times this is a group of people that have been told what they need. And if we just can be like, okay, well, what does it look like for you? Yeah. They're like, oh,
Right.
Like, I have autonomy to like make my own decisions,
Yep.
and like that's really where change actually starts to happen.
And they got to get to know you. Like, you can't just trust someone that comes up to you out of nowhere to be like, oh, you're going to help me. Why?
Right.
You know, so you just got to continue that relationship. And as you get to know them and they get to know you, they start to rely on you, and they start asking for more of what they didn't in the beginning. They open up and they're like, oh, you're not here to judge me. You're not here to just try to make me do what's right. You know, it's just, oh, you're just here for me. So as that goes, that relationship builds, then they start, okay, Yvette, so I need this. Like, can you start helping me with this? Like, this is where I want to change. This is what I want to do. So you just got to give it time, and then that's how it goes.
That's how you know it starts getting good. Like, you know what? I was thinking, how do I go about getting an ID? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
100%. It's the connection level that has to take place with this job. Like, because there are people, I work a lot in Elgin, and she's more in Aurora, but there are a lot of people that like I have seen multiple times, and they know my name, but they've never asked me for anything, but they're always in like the kind of same group, and then they see me and they're like, you know what, Lyndsay, my link card is up for redetermination, and I'm like, can I help you?
Right.
You know, but I have to wait, like, and just when they're ready.
The time is 8:12 a.m. Leo Zarco is here. Good morning, Leo Zarco. Leo Zarco is he's a local poet and author.
Ooh,
he's a great writer. He's got some great stuff. And if you go to his Instagram, he posts these like little snippets of his poetry.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? A couple of bars we say in rap, you know. I say it sometimes I'm reading like, oh yeah, look at the sun. The sun is bright. Do it all day and all night. I just made that up.
That was moving.
Mary Foltz is here. Good morning to you, Mary. I saw Mary Foltz yesterday out there at the Pride Parade as well. She was walking around. I saw you, Mary. Good morning to you. And William Miller III is here. Happy Monday and good morning, Aurora. Thank you for tuning in. William Miller is a guy I used to work with once upon a time. We used to ride the train together downtown Chicago. Are you still nervous? See? Hit the clap. We do this. Okay, so now here's the next thing. This is where the conversation may get colorful. I believe that one of the reasons why the problems for people have been entrenched, gotten so bad, because services for a long time always, look, it's 8 to 5. So no matter how far you got to travel, no matter what your paperwork is, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
If you're not here by 4:58, we closing it. That's it. See you Monday. Right? You call and there's no voicemail. So now you got to wait. Your problem sits, or whatever it was, until Monday, 8:00 a.m. And if people didn't meet that, society didn't give a crap, right? I think that's one of the reasons why there's no people working nights or weekends to help people. What do you think about that? I guess just the structure in general.
Yeah. So I am in complete agreement, and I think that, I mean, I'm the queen of being like access problems. You know, I'm always like, there's barriers. We have barriers. You know, like when people are like, why don't they just get an apartment? I'm like, do you want me to list the barriers? Because like we'll be here for a while. But so for us, like that is part of the reason I love what we do, is because we can go to folks. We are physically meeting people where they are at, and we case manage out of our cars, out of the park, out of the encampments, out of the library, whatever that looks like. So for us, like when people do have to access something that is like really like you have to be there between this and this and you have to get here, we take them. You know what I mean? And we set it up. And so, and does it always work? No. Like, have we missed appointments? Yes, a lot, because sometimes then the phone's not on anymore and we have to track people down and I'm screaming out my car window, you have a doctor's appointment. Right. You know, but yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think that a lot of times when people start to get really judgmental about like why folks aren't receiving services, like you got to look at access. It always comes down to a matter of access, and if it's not accessible, it's useless.
Right. Absolutely. I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you gonna say something?
No, I think it was all set.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's no, it's an access thing, and that's one of those things that money can't solve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My dad told me something a long time ago. He said, "You never have a problem until you have a problem that money can't solve."
Oh my gosh.
And when I was a kid, I really didn't get it. But growing up, I realized, like, yo, he was right. Like, that's a serious problem. And when it comes to the access too, I don't know if, like, I don't think homelessness probably cannot be solved as an issue, especially like in a large city. You're going to have that kind of problem. But I think that I think that for a city like Aurora and other big cities, it is a manageable problem. Now, I'm not in the field. You ladies are. Is it a manageable problem? Do you think it is?
I think it's everyone's like kind of like, first of all, manageable like is like a really stressful word for me. Like, what does that even mean? Like, manageable, you know what I mean?
I just picked it out of thin air.
No.
Yeah,
but it's tricky, right?
Yeah,
so what is that?
yeah.
What does that look like? Manageable? Like, can we give people their basic needs? Like, maybe, like, you know. But I think that if we're looking at homelessness specifically as like no access to housing, I don't know that it is manageable. Not right now.
That's a fact.
Because
Okay.
we, you know, COVID brought these emergency housing vouchers from the housing authorities that were like pretty unheard of. It was just like we got vouchers really easily. Usually the Section 8 wait lists are very, very long. But we have folks that still have vouchers that we can't find open units.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
there's no managing that, sure.
Right. So, could we take better care of people? Yes. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like in that sense, manageable with the housing, it's just not too much, I guess we can do, but manageable as in the community working together and being able to do more for this population, definitely. Like that's one of my main goals, is like trying to connect Aurora together and to work in little ways that we can all help out. Little ways even by like certain restaurants or anything downtown Aurora, like putting water out, like a jug of water out for anyone who's walking around who wants a clean drink of water. It's accessible to them. Just little things like that can really help out in the long run. So in that sense, I feel like Aurora as a community can work together to do more, for sure.
It's interesting. Like, see, the solutions that we just talked about, the couple that we just kicked around, are like things that people can do. You don't even need a government for that. You don't need to make, could we get a resolution to blah, blah, blah.
No.
You don't need all that.
No.
You just need people to not be, it's a family show. I almost swore on my own show. You need people to not be jerks.
Right.
That's all you need.
Right.
That's all you need.
Right. Make eye contact with people.
Yeah.
Smile at
Humanity,
people.
Just that. Just that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that leads me into my next question. Actually, the time is 8:19 a.m. How do you typically meet your clients? Because I know that there's a number to call and all that. I mean, are people calling the number, or are people flagging you ladies down when they see you?
No, neither. We go to them.
Okay.
So
y'all just pull up and jump out like the police. Like,
Yes.
oh, you need help? You need assistance?
Yeah. No, but for real. I mean, so, you know, this job is like, so we're both obsessed with it, but it can be a little tricky because we literally like, you know, I've been doing it a year. Yvette came on a few months ago. And so training, I was like, this is weird at first, but you'll get better. Because literally, if we see someone holding a sign at 31 and Indian Trail, I'm like, pull over and talk to that person. So my go-to is usually to take something with me, you know, when it's warm, like, would you like some water? Like, and I just introduce myself, you know, my name is Lyndsay. I do street outreach with AID. You know, if they're, and then just, it's very relational. So just gauge if they're willing to talk, you know, always ask someone if you can talk to them first. Like if someone is across the street and they see me, I usually say, can I come talk to you first? You know, like things like that. But we also, we go into encampments, not uninvited, definitely, but that's how we build our client base a lot, is that a couple clients know us and trust us, bring us into their encampment, and then we go and interact with them. So it really is like street outreach, because we are out there. Like we do not, like, we will get referrals and stuff, but it's a lot of the people that we know, it's because like we've shown up, you know, like, and I ask other people. So if there's a guy here and I say, is there anyone else nearby that needs us? They'll say so-and-so, and we'll find them. We'll go down to so-and-so, and so-and-so is going, like the other day,
Jimmy,
how do you know my name?
Yeah,
how do you know my
like,
name? And I was like, oh, sorry, because I'm yelling this guy's name, and he's like,
who are you?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh.
So it's relational, which is relational and relationship that I'm smushing together.
So you make the own word. We hit the clap for that. That's word.
Oh my god.
Relationship. Yeah, relational.
Which is a relationship.
Right.
Right.
Can you put that in the chat? Put relational in the chat.
Hashtag relational.
Relational. She made her own word.
You know. And now I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah,
it's based on making relationships with people.
Yes.
No, so
sure.
Here, actually, I wanted to. Josie Mendoza Geller says, it takes a truly compassionate person to do your job. Thank you for being that person. Mary also said, being a director to a charity, organization that serves homelessness. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with homelessness for almost a year. I can answer to this. It is not manageable like it was 10 years or 5 years ago. Thank you, ladies, for all you are doing. Every little bit counts. Yeah, Maria Chirito, good morning. Yeah, you gotta be, it takes it's not for the faint of heart. No. It ain't. It is not for the faint of heart.
I love you.
I love you.
Aww.
Oh, because for real, it's not.
It's
and
not.
it was just me, like, for a while, you know?
I know.
And so I'm like, no.
The listeners of our show know that I spent my early years in Harvey, Illinois. So, like, I seen it. You know what I'm saying? It is not for the faint of heart. It takes a certain kind of person. Like, you need to be a member of the clergy, or a person who perhaps maybe was homeless at one point in time. Those are the only two humans who could possibly be able to put on the coat of armor that it takes to do that. Because you're out of your comfort. There is no comfort zone. It's the opposite of a comfort zone, under a bridge or what have you. And again, I think that it's the organizations who actually like walk that talk. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes the entire difference. It's 8:23. Ali Hernandez says, I'd love to get your contact information so we can collaborate on how to better our community. Now that's word up.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
So Ali here, she's a Marine Corps veteran.
She knows me.
Oh, y'all know?
Yes.
So you know.
Okay. Oh,
Maybe she wants my contact information, Lyndsay.
I'm like, fine.
Yeah. But so she deals with veterans through the Road Home program.
Yeah.
At Rush University.
Yeah.
And the veteran population, for instance, has also struggled with homelessness over the years as well too.
Yeah.
Aisha Saxon, good morning. Julie Marsh May, hello. Sheila Johnson, Karina LaFontaine, hello Karina, long time no see. Good to see you, dear friend. And Stacy Wilcox Fowler, good morning. Okay, next question.
Can I just say, just really quick, because you were saying like organizations that actually walk, again, and now I'm not going to be able to use my words, walk the talk, what is it? Talk the walk, which is whatever the phrase is.
Walk the walk, yeah.
Like, we really do feel so supported by AID. Like, it's really been amazing, because I was doing like street outreach kind of on my own time before I came to AID. And so we really have been like so able to just do what we need to do for our clients, and it's really been cool. I feel very supported by AID. So like, we are a tiny program, but within the larger organization, like they are there, and it's nice. It's nice to see. Right.
So the time is 8:25. We are going. Oh, Ali Hernandez now she said, "Hello, Lyndsay." I like that. We got the same friends though. So we're gonna go to a commercial right now. Medea, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Medea, if you can, please deliver us some news.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Here are your local headlines. We have real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date with all of our content. There you will also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. I'll put the link on the chat. Monday, August 8th from 3 to 7 p.m., Faye's Finest Food, LLC is hosting their barbecue fundraiser. This is brought to us by the Aurora Township to benefit senior and youth services. Dinners will be $16 for either drive-through or carry out. The food is good and the cause is great. And this benefits our Aurora youth. There is a flyer. We will put the flyer up to provide more details for you guys to save the date. Don't forget about all of our great activities taking place here in Aurora. Our city's Youth Services Department did a great job preparing our youth for the summer. Drama camps, free lunches, STEAM courses, so many great activities. View all the programs and register on the link that I will leave on the chat. Saturday, September 10th is a Kid Expo taking place at Phillips Park. It is hosted by the State Representative Stephanie Kifowitz and will be held from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is a free event, and it will be a fun event. It is open to the public, and it will be held rain or shine. For more information, you may call 630-585-1308.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? Hit the clap for that news, though. Right, yeah. You got news like this. Okay, so the time is 8:27. Karina Suarez Darden, good morning to you. Karina LaFontaine says, many Hispanic people need more information about this program. Many do not know, but it is a place to help many in the community that suffer from depression. Thank you very much for that, Karina. And Karina Santillan says, AID is a true gem in the Aurora community. All of AID programs truly offer support to the clients we serve by providing a safe place to heal and grow, whether it be in office or out in the community. Awesome work, street outreach. Hey, awesome. Good stuff. Judge Renee Cruz for Supreme Court, good morning to you, dear brother. Okay, so when did, or without giving any personal client information, the way that you guys probably can't share, do you have any success stories?
Yes.
Let's tell us one. Tell us a.
Do you have any you can think of?
Well, we did move someone in. My first, because I've been here for a few months, and the first person I help house, the person's doing great.
Okay.
They're doing great in their apartment. Very grateful and just it was a really good story. So I got introduced to him by Lindsay.
Desperately saying, please help me. Okay, this person's moving into an apartment. Go. So I think I'm almost at a year, in the next few days, maybe, I don't know even today what today is, with this program. And because of these emergency housing vouchers, we've actually housed 10 people in the past year, which has been the craziest thing that I've ever experienced in my life, because the housing is so hard to navigate. And we were given these vouchers. We put clients on the list, kind of mad dash. They're coming, COVID list, here's who got pulled. It was all very quick. And then they had a time limit. And so it was I gotta find units. So it was incredibly stressful, but so rewarding. So yeah, we've housed 10 people, which every single time I cry when they're getting their keys. It's been really beautiful. But I think also our success stories are just seeing people get an ID for the first time when they haven't had an ID in however many years,
right,
or getting their link card and so they can eat comfortably, or whatever those things look like. I think that making doctor's appointments that they've really needed to make in a million years that they haven't done, because those are success stories. I think that we also do a lot of we do harm reduction work within street outreach, and we do a lot of overdose prevention. We actually recently connected with the health department to help with the overdose prevention project, and we have clients who have reversed overdoses, and like those are success stories. And so I think that we celebrate every little step.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's what's so cool is like the little dance I do when something good happens and my clients like get super embarrassed and I'm like, oh my gosh, because like we just want to celebrate. Like these are big deals. Like yes, moving people into their apartments has been just so crazy. I don't even think I've processed it yet because it's just been such a whirlwind. And like seeing people, once they have that safety, then they can, we've got people who are now going back to court for custody because they have a place that their kids can come now, and reconnecting with the community and, doing their hobbies again. We've got people who were artists and are creating again because they have a space that they live now. And so, every time I'm just so overwhelmingly proud of the people that I work with because these are folks that have had to be resilient in ways that most of us can't even comprehend. And seeing any little baby step is just like, we're gonna have a party because it's so well deserved.
Right.
So
now how do people get in contact with yourselves, with the street outreach team?
So couple ways. AID has a 24/7 crisis line. Okay. So they can always call the crisis line and kind of get connected to us. But we can leave our emails as well. That would probably be the most direct way to just get in connection with us.
Okay. What's your emails? Maria, can you put them in the chat, please?
Yeah. So I'm L Hartman at aidcares.org.
And is it one T? And
one T, one N, LHARTMAN at AIDcares. I always make sure we get the S.org.
Okay. Awesome.
And I am at Y Robles. I'm like, wait. YROBLES at AIDcares.org.
All right. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, good morning to you as well. And Carla, good morning to you. What's the biggest impact? Time is 8:33 a.m. What's the biggest impact that COVID has had on your activities?
So I started last year at this time. So it was kind of, how can we even timeline with COVID? I don't even know. Like, what is time anymore? But so things were still like, soup kitchens were opening up again, so that was good because I heard that was like really the hardest part was getting people food during COVID. But then also like the Social Security office wasn't open. So for example, good thing that happened was we got these emergency housing vouchers, right? And they were really born out of COVID money. And so it was incredible. But all of my people needed a valid ID, their Social Security card, their birth certificate, all these things that were really tricky to get during COVID.
Right.
So Social Security, when they were closed, in order to get a replacement card, you had to mail, not a copy, your physical ID in order to get and then they were gonna, apparently send it back with your social, right. Mail.
Meaning you need an address. Or P.O. box.
Well, don't even get me started on addresses.
I know, right.
That's a whole nother thing.
I don't mean to cut you off, excuse me.
No, but even sending that in when maybe my clients just got it, and then that also makes them vulnerable to, say they interact with the police and they need an ID. They don't have it. They don't have it because they sent it into Social Security. And so it's again, barriers on barriers on barriers. Or, we found how you can order your birth certificate. Maybe if you were born in DuPage or Kane County, I just took people into the office. Mm-hmm. But, if you were born out of state, then we either had to mail it in with, again, you have to pay for it, or all these different things. So anyway, back to COVID though. So yeah, offices being closed was tricky. Getting to the DMV was tricky because is it open, is it not? Elgin, you always just had to stand in line. Aurora, you had to make appointments. So, and that doesn't always work if someone doesn't have a phone and I just happen to see them and I'm like, we need to go get your ID right now. So barriers, much more barriers because of COVID.
Now you've only been on for a few months, so you came in.
I came
in our pretty much post knock on wood COVID era and things like that.
Yeah, we're gonna say that out loud.
Right? Yeah, seriously. But in the little bit of time, I guess in a nutshell kind of way, COVID didn't make life any better for the folks, obviously, who were struggling already. I can only imagine how terrible things got. Was the AID organization as a whole overwhelmed? Besides street outreach, I know you two ladies are representing street outreach.
Right.
We're gonna stick to that, but I mean, just in a.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, I know like January was when I got COVID, and it was like when a lot of folks, we were all just getting it, and so it was just, and street outreach lives underneath victim services, and victim services is 24/7,
Right.
and so having to just staff with people being sick, was just, plus we're living in a collective trauma right now, so as we're all just exhausted, right? Like not just like getting sick, but we're all just like, oh my gosh, like the world is heavy and dark sometimes. And so it was really difficult. I know when I got COVID personally, it was literally like I had just heard that there was a potential outbreak in Tent City in Elgin of COVID. It was also like 8 degrees all week, the week that I got sick. And then like I knew folks were like my clients were potentially going to be getting sick, and like it was so it was just like this panic of like, how do I take care of myself, but also like try to make sure that folks are okay, because I had a pretty mild case, but like in an apartment and an amazing roommate who like took care of me and struggled through it. And so I was so worried about our people. Like you can't, in the elements, you just, it's scary. It really just was scary.
Right. All right. So the time is 8:38. Now you brought up something that has been a nationwide, not in a big city topic. Tent cities and encampments. Mm-hmm. Should there be tent cities and encampments? I mean, shouldn't the authorities remove tent cities and encampments? What's your opinion about that?
Definitely not.
Why not? I mean, people need to walk on the sidewalk, and what are your thoughts?
Like, where else are people gonna go? Like, it's still someone's home, essentially. It's someone's home. Why remove that?
Yeah, without options, right?
Like,
so we don't. There is literally nowhere else for a lot of these people to go. Even like if we take a few steps back, like, the narrative of like get a job, get an apartment, like housing right now, like a studio apartment in Batavia is $1,200 a month, and they want you to make 3 times your rent in order to even qualify for it.
Out here it's like, between 7 to 9, and still, and some of the people too, like in the encampments do have jobs. Mm-hmm. But that's not enough. Mm-hmm. So if you see that situation with a person who still doesn't have enough, even for like people who like me, like I've been struggling to find an apartment myself, that I'm going to be financially comfortable and that I can pay. So if I'm struggling and I have resources, I have everything at my hand, I feel like, imagine someone who doesn't, like, and then you're going to just throw them out somewhere else to where?
Mm-hmm. And take everything they own. I mean, it's just like sweeps literally kill people. I mean, like sweeping encampments it's dangerous. It's like inhumane, it's so, I have so many feelings about it. It breaks my heart. And honestly, we are very, very lucky that we don't deal with a lot of sweeps, because our folks have found places where they're not bothering anybody else, and so they can kind of remain a little bit safer. But it's devastating when it happens. I mean, folks don't have much, and when you take everything, it's, oh my gosh, it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, I ask it again, like I've asked a couple of these questions from an outside looking in perspective. I don't do what you ladies do. And the whole thing to me just seems to, there's an old saying, never punch down. I mean, the whole thing to me seems to be really just a little too low the stomach. I've never been a mayor of a large city or a governor and had to make the decision of if we're going to, for public safety to me comes first. But, for heaven's sakes, I'd rather repurpose an abandoned school or a hotel and make that a free housing shelter for people than bring in the dogs and sick them up and chase them out and destroy them. I mean, to me, it's just really, because I think the bigger issue is when the encampment is gone, the people ain't.
Right.
They're going to be scattered to points unknown.
Right.
And desperate people do desperate things.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need 60 people now trying to find somewhere to sleep tonight.
Right. Plus, people don't maybe think about this because of stigma. That's a community. Those, that's a group of people who know each other, who look out for each other. And especially our women, they can't just be out in a parking garage at the end of the night, and that's where they sleep. They need some level of safety when they're so unsafe. And so it's like you're destroying a community. And when we hear about the problems, sanitation or garbage or waste or whatever, all these things, there are options for these things. Why aren't we talking about porta potties or dumpsters or things like that? And that's what we are constantly trying to help our folks keep their encampments as they want them. And so, what do you need? Can we bring you garbage bags? Can we help get some of it out? Because it's not an ideal situation, but that's their home right now.
Right. It's not, and that's, I guess that's also the second word of the day. It's not ideal. So in a sense, from a city government standpoint, there shouldn't be an encampment. However, those people deserve to be somewhere safe and with dignity. So if that means making 2 HESED houses or 5 HESED houses, then hell, we got to make a whole bunch of HESED houses. You know what I'm saying? But and again, we're not, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to solve the problem of homelessness today. But I do think that for the people who never thought about it like that, they should start thinking about it like that, because it is a problem and an issue. And I don't know, those people, they deserve to be safe too. Everybody does.
And it's small steps to not right away, let's build another HESED house,
Right.
But smaller things to even laundromats in the community could be hey, between this hour and this hour, we can allow a certain amount of people to do 2 loads of laundry. Little things like that the community can help and bring in would be big. Just being able to do their laundry somewhere, being able to shower somewhere, some of the communities, maybe Prisco Center, Yola, anywhere like that, it could be okay, from this hour to from this hour, our showers are open. Little things like that can really help us.
See, that's the kind of world I want to. See, that's the kind of world I want to live in. That's my form of that's my form of government. I would just do that, right? I would just do that. It's a gym. We got 6 showers. Donate 1 to the homeless folks. Monday through Thursday, it's all good. 10 to noon. That's
a great. Anything like that.
Whatever. But hold on a second. I was actually going somewhere else with this. Michael Rayford, good morning. Luma Webster, good morning.
Hi, Luma.
Hi, Luma. Cordell Morris Ware
Hey, that's my
says, as a person who knows these ladies personally, to see what they have done for this community is really inspiring. Hearing the stories and watch the progress is a sight to see. That's word up. Thank you very much. Michael Rayford, good morning. Veronica Adami, good morning. Got the addresses. Email addresses are in the chat for you folks to get in contact with these wonderful ladies here. And then Ashley says, well, how do you think Skid Row happened? It's community because they've all experienced the same struggles and they have any support is support. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mimi Ledger Franklin, good morning to you as well. The time is 8:46 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora. Talking too much. Sip it up. We got a thing on this show. Whenever we mess up, we sip it up. Sip it up.
Cheers.
You at home, sip it up. All right, I'm gonna take it easy. All right, let's try this again. You're listening to and watching the second largest city's first daily news podcast, and we have the AID Street Outreach Team here with us as well. Thank you, Norma Peterson. Okay, so we talked about the impact COVID had.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the work that's currently being done.
Mm-hmm.
I've asked this question to our elected officials who've been on the show and community partners and folks in nonprofits. Definitely a valid question to ask you ladies. If you had a magic wand, right? I'm gonna set it up real good for y'all. Everybody at home, like, I want a magic wand.
No.
If you had a magic wand,
This is where we cry.
you had a magic wand, what would you do? What would you change?
So I am programmed to like think of things like, what is the first step?
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a magic wand, I'd probably like have a lot of issues because like I could go way bigger in my brain, but I'm just thinking like immediately what would make things better. And I think that we have to be more creative for how we care for people. And that looks like, what does that look like even? I mean, just, oh my gosh, magic wand. I'm thinking like tiny homes for people. You know, I'm thinking like, you know, a mobile shower, mobile laundry, like all these different things that would just like change our folks' lives really quickly.
Like the kind of shit the military has.
Oh, who said that? Yeah, no, 100%. And
I mean, building showers in the desert.
Right, right. There are options. And so I just like, we see what happens when you just treat people with dignity and like love on them for who they are. And like, that is what changes things like down the line. And so like, what is going to create a better world is just like treating everyone a little bit better. And so for our folks, like, again, I'm thinking most basic needs, like, let's just get people shelter without strings, without barriers, without you know, a lot of people don't want to go to like communal shelters because it's rigid and they don't feel like they have autonomy and things like that. So the other funny thing about me is that because I said I'm like the queen of pointing out barriers, like sometimes when I'm saying things that sound good, I'm thinking in my head the barriers that could happen. So I'm like the worst at a magic wand.
So like that question is so hard because it's like, well, ideally,
right,
have more buildings, more housing, you know, obviously that's the easy, but then you're like, but how is that gonna like work?
Yeah.
What do we really need? But like, I guess to start off for me, having like a dorm room type of situation, because like you still need, you know, not a shelter where everyone's just all spread around, but more of like maybe what is it called, like transitional housing. So more like a dorm room kind of situation where it's like, you know, still the community, they can share bathrooms, kitchen, this and that, but still individuality, like their own room, you know, their own space. Like, okay, if there's not space to give a whole apartment, at least they have their own room.
Like a hotel that's about to be torn down.
Something.
No, don't tear him down. Oh, we
Right.
got a red roof in, we're gonna demolish it. No.
Right.
Yeah,
no.
something-
No.
80 rooms?
No.
No, keep him.
No.
Let's repurpose that. We're
Right.
gonna do something
Set
different
up
with
for
that.
success.
We're gonna do
yes.
something different with that.
And honestly, Magic Wand too, I wish people would just like see the humanity in other people that aren't like them,
Yes.
because we see it all the time. Our clients take care of each other. They are the masters of community care. They, know what they need to do. They assist each other. They're there for each other. They keep each other safe. We have regularly clients who give us flowers when they see us or things like that, because like they're just so, these are people, these are like it's our community. This
Yeah.
is Good Morning Aurora. Like, this is your community. This is,
Right.
and so like, it's not separate. It's not us and them. Like, this is the community. And so just having a little bit more compassion would make our jobs easier, because the trauma endured at every step of the way by our clients means that sometimes like they're very, very sick and we have to drag them to a hospital because of the medical trauma they've experienced, or they really desperately, maybe we can get them a spot at HESED or PADS, but they've got trauma from being in shelters and they will not go, so.
Or just themselves feeling like that person that society has made them feel like. It's so sad to speak with someone and then being thankful, like, oh my God, thank you for looking at me as a person, or just saying hi to me. Like, no one deserves, like, that's so sad, just for someone to be so happy that I treated them like a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Now, there are people who say, and I just want to, Cruz Ocho, good morning. Cruz Ocho is he's a friend of ours. He's a great musician and all that. Cruz Ocho is my man. Cruz Ocho, good morning. His music plays on Good Morning Aurora in the morning time. Check him out on Instagram and all that. Here's the thing. Now, there are those that say, maybe you heard this before. There are those that say, well, wait a minute. Hold on now. These people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
They should, hey, it's their fault if they didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't make it to court because you don't have a car and it's 20 miles away, hey, fly a plane.
Yep.
Whatever it takes.
Yep.
Pull yourself up by. What's your response to that?
We do hear that. I heard that just the other day in a certain location by a certain business owner, came out and finger in my face telling me that I was doing more harm than good because I was giving out water. I was enabling people.
Imagine that.
Right.
Water.
Yeah.
Not cigarettes. Not alcohol.
No. And literally doing like good case management. Like, it was a very successful day. I helped someone set up a doctor's appointment. Another person, we got them a government phone. Like, it was a very good outreach day, but I was in public and was told that I was making the problem worse. And so I think that for folks who think that, we got to play out the steps, right? I mean, it's just not physically possible, because for a lot of our folks, like I said, are the most vulnerable, the most affected by mass incarceration, by the war on drugs, inflation right now, all of these different things. Like, our folks get hit the hardest. And so say you are disabled, you cannot work, you get Social Security, you might get $700 or $800 a month. Basic, and you can't work, okay? Basic, maybe you find a $500 apartment, which you won't, but maybe you do. They want you to make $1,500 to even qualify,
right?
And not have a criminal background and not have a poor credit score,
and maybe no pet.
Right. It's inaccessible. Like, so anyone who says that they just should pull them up by their bootstraps, we have an access conversation, because again, I always will come back to, like, it's not accessible. It's not accessible, and so there's a million things that could go wrong in that time frame, and there are so many pieces to privilege, and when you pull one of them out, like, certain aspects fall apart, and our folks like have no privilege at all. And so when you're starting at that base level to build, if you have no money to your name, but you need a social security card to get a job, or like, whatever it might be that costs $20, or, an application fee for an apartment that costs $35. I saw one for $60 to apply for an apartment.
Right. And they keep that. You're not getting him back.
No.
You don't get him back.
No.
Right. Oh, that's for the background check, which
Right.
I know I'm going to fail.
Right. Exactly. So I would say for folks who like really think that way, play it out. Because we're starting at ground level. We're starting at nothing.
The time is 8:55 a.m. So here's and this is the last point. So the show ends on a positive note. You ladies will get the message of the day for people. But the reason why we're doing this conversation, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason why we're doing this. Yvette, I met you at Society 57. You were there working, doing your thing. I was there working too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Society 57 is a nice place. It's got great, I hear the avocado toast is good. I ain't had it yet. The water's great. They got great cocktails, small plates and all that. We're there, we're doing our job, right? And I do outreach. You guys know where I work. The thing is that, look, that's what it takes. Society 57 is the high end of us doing outreach. But you gotta be there to be able to be other places and to meet folks. And so I say that to say I respect what y'all do, and because I seen you out there with the boots on the ground and all that, that's why we have Maria reach out and get this going on, because I want people to hear about this, learn about it. The emails are in the chat. If you or somebody you know is struggling with homelessness or any other issues and AID can help, they need to reach out to both of you ladies. So the whole reason I'm happy to have you ladies on the show today is because I want people to see you and email you and get the job done. Because I meet people I met a guy that's just that night. I know a guy, he's living in a hotel in like North Aurora. He got a job, but he's struggling and all that. So he's on the borderline. He's housed, but it ain't ideal. He's paying the weekly rate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who are able to be helped who don't have to be like homeless. So there's a lot of people that we can help. So Norma Peterson, all of you great people who listen to this show, I'm thankful for you. Let's keep it going and let people know about the street outreach team. Because I meet people in my job and they are one Friday away from being homeless. They're one Friday, oh Curtis, can you help me with and I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like we do the program that just ended for us was the mortgage relief.
Yeah.
Right? Where the state will pay you if you're behind on your mortgage. If you live in a hotel, that's not going to help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't help them. I can't help you, bruh. But I know somebody who can. The time, and that's y'all. So, right? Yeah, we did it right. I know. Yeah. All right. Michelle Gums out there. Michelle Gums yesterday, she had on it was like a suit. It was a pride flag suit.
Ooh.
It looked like a pack of Starbursts. It was really nice. It looked really good, Michelle. Luma Webster, both of you are amazing. Much love to you. Awesome. Josie Mendoza Geller says, how can we help you? Can help
Great
by...
question. Well, so anyone can help with donations. Anything from socks, water, anything. Think about you going out camping. What you need to go out camping. Those are things we need. It's summer, so bug spray, sunblock. Again, water is a big one. Communities, like I'm saying, if you can put out water outside of your business where people could just come up and drink water, that's helping the whole community.
Absolutely.
Before I forget, I do want to send out a quick shout out to the Aurora Interfaith Food Pantry.
Oh, word.
They've been such great support and so much help.
Yes.
Like, thank you so much to all of them out there. But yeah, other ways they can help.
I say, like, something that's free is just like smile at people, acknowledge people, make contact with them, say hello. Also, there's always things you can just kind of like have in your car where if you're at an intersection and someone is, asking for money, please, it's supposed to be so hot this week. I am kind of a hydration crazy person. I get very stressed out when it gets hot. So please, 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 if you have any extra water, just have it in your car. Like, yes, it's not going to be cold. My clients always are like, I don't like warm water. I'm just kidding. They're usually super, super appreciative, but I get in trouble sometimes. One guy particularly always gives me a hard time because my water's always warm. But hand out water. Oh my gosh, we need to make sure people are staying hydrated, especially this week. It's going to be crazy.
Joe Espinoza, good morning. Thank you, everybody. So the show ends on a positive note. What is your message to the people of Aurora, ladies?
Let's just work together, help each other out. That's all we can do is communicate, get together, and figure it out together.
And COVID taught us that COVID reinforced how important community is. And so remember that the folks you see on the street are part of your community. I'm not saying like you need to pull over and talk to them the way that we do, but just like be compassionate, please. Like, it will make a difference. It makes our lives easier. It makes their lives easier. Just take care of each other,
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I'll also say, be careful how you treat people on the way up. It may be the same people you see if you go back down. Mm-hmm. With that in mind, have a blessed Monday, a positive Monday, an uplifting Monday. We thank our ladies for coming on to the show. Shout out to the AID Street Outreach team. And take care of yourself and each other.
Yes.